Welcome in, everybody. It is officially week 11, which means it's time to do our buy, sell, hold, some start, sit questions. Had some technical difficulties to start this, but I've got both the mediators here with me, so super excited to answer your questions. So if you're with us, please be sure to hit that like button. It helps us out a ton. Comment your questions, whether it's a trade, start, sit. We're getting ready for the playoffs. Gentlemen, Coach, I'll start with you. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. Been busy. It's that time of year, though. We're rolling on though.
Yes, sir. Tyler, how about you? How's it going?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Finally got my tight end video ranking, or tight end rankings video recorded, and it's posted and live now. So if you're looking for some recorded content afterwards, check out Matt's got his running back video that he did for earlier in the week, and then my tight ends are live. So
yeah, of course. And as always, Coach is over here. He's been a big push for us over on X. So you can follow us at the FF Mediators on X. Let us know what you got going on for your fantasy team. I see Zach is in here. What's going on, Zach? We appreciate you for tuning in, as always. I know we've got a bunch of questions that should be hitting the chat here soon. So if you got them, throw them out there to us. But let's get started right with it, guys. And let's talk about none other than TreVeyon Henderson, who had his massive week, finished as a top 5 running back on the week. Tyler, I'm going to kick it to you. I know we've got another week of Ramondre Stevenson is likely out. I think he's already been ruled out. Jennings is probably going to be out as well. What's your thoughts on Ramondre Stevenson this week? As TreVeyon Henderson this week? Is he a start for you?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, so Ramondre has been ruled out for sure. Jennings, I don't know of 100% certain, but I know he, was rumored to be out as well. If nobody else is there, I'm playing TreVeyon. I mean, you saw what happens whenever he gets that workload. I mean, he had 14 carries for 147 yards and 2 touchdowns. If you watch those runs, like when he got out in the open field, nobody was catching him. I mean, he has breakaway speed. He only caught 1 pass, which is fine whenever you're that effective rushing the ball. So for me, I mean, I'm playing him. This Jets defense, it may not be a good matchup on paper, but you got to remember they traded both Quinnen Williams and Sauce as well. So I like TreVeyon this week.
Yeah, I think it's a better matchup now than it was before. You mentioned the 2 pieces being moved, so I like what you can get with TreVeyon in this matchup, being the guy. You mentioned the explosive plays. I mean, 28 fantasy points on the week, 14 carries for 147 yards, average 10.5 a carry. Absolutely awesome to see. Coach, what's your thoughts on TreVeyon Henderson?
It's so wild. Like last week or week before, we were talking about like throwing the towel in with this guy and how we were really concerned, and here we are. Now he's a must start, and I mean he really does look like it. It makes you wonder what the holdup was when it came to his opportunity, but he got it and he made the most of it, and now you got to start him.
Yeah, I think it's kind of one of those things we all knew the big play was bound to happen. We saw it in the preseason where his first touch was a return kickoff. We saw some other big plays that he had, and then he just kind of got buried. And it felt like no matter how bad this run game was for the Patriots, even when Ramondre was fumbling, he wasn't getting punished. So TreVeyon just kind of had to wait his turn, and it finally happened. But it kind of leads us into KJ's question here, guys. So let's start here. Says he needs to start 2 running backs, 1 flex. And it includes TreVeyon Henderson. So the man we're talking about, RJ Harvey, looks like J.K. Dobbins is going to be out. So Harvey's going to have that starter role. And then Vidal as well, who's been putting up some big numbers. And of course, we got Christian Watson there for the flex. I think for me here, if I'm starting 3, I'm just going to start Hendo as my RB1, Vidal as my RB2, and Harvey in my flex. Tyler, I saw you shake your head first, so I'll go to you. Do you concur there?
I definitely agree on the running backs. I would be tempted to throw Christian Watson out there just because it seems like they need somebody to catch the ball. If you're going for a floor play, sure, RJ Harvey's fine. But I would be tempted with Christian Watson. I mean, they've already lost Tucker Kraft. So they've got to throw the ball at some point, and Jaden Reed's not back yet. So I think Christian Watson is probably their best bet.
Coach, what about you?
Yeah, I'm Hendo and Vidal, and then I'm flexing Harvey with Dobbins out. Like I gotta put Harvey in there. Like I understand Watson play, but I feel like our Harvey's going to be a safer option.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, Harvey's going to step into a good workload. The Broncos have been running the ball pretty effectively. He's also been the one that's kind of been getting the touchdowns over J.K. Dobbins. So I kind of like that opportunity for him. And then, we've already talked about Henderson. I feel like his dynasty value is just is a little bit more cemented after this last week of seeing what he can be and kind of giving the validation of you don't need to sell him or panic move. So one last question there on Harvey, and we'll get to these other questions. So appreciate everyone for being here. Coach, would you be willing to move for TreVeyon Henderson, or would you be looking to get off of him after this big week?
No, I would be looking to move for him. Of course, the price went up now as a result, but I think long term, especially in dynasty, like I do really like Henderson. I don't feel like it's a sell high kind of thing. I feel like he's going to be the running back of the future there.
Yeah, Tyler, do you agree with that?
Yeah, wholeheartedly. I would be, if you could make the move to go from Harvey to Henderson, I would do that in a heartbeat too. Go from the promise of like, hey, Dobbins is out, it's RJ Harvey's time, to going to TreVeyon. That's the way I would do it.
Yeah, I think that's a good point too there, Tyler, of using that to jump up if you can. I mean, especially in redraft, if you could sell the idea, hey, J.K. Dobbins might be out for a little while, Ramondre Stevenson's going to come back at some point, I'd be willing to make that bet too, to be honest. So I don't hate that move. Cronster's in here. Yo, what's up, Cronster? We appreciate you for being here. You can go check out his trade pieces in our Patreon if you haven't checked out that already. The Discord is free. You can check out Cronster's trade market and trade tips right there. He's got a bunch of good stuff out there. Baby Ice says Seahawks defense or Green Bay defense this week. As always, we go by Pete's defensive rankings here, so let me get those pulled up real quick. And it's going to say go with the Packers. So the Packers would be the move that I would make. We're going to carry on unless you two have anything to say about defenses.
Nope. Jameis Winston. They're taking on against Winston,
Yeah. Well, let's come back to the Giants. Let's answer a couple of these questions real quick, and we'll come back to that. KJ asks, Coach, a better start, Sam Darnold or Bo Nix? I want you to answer this first because you and I were talking off air. The question marks around Bo Nix are looming. Is he fine? Is he good? Is he okay? Are you panicking here? Would you rather start Sam Darnold?
So I'm going to start Sam Darnold. I feel more comfortable with Sam Darnold. Like I am, I'll just say it, I'm a little concerned with Bo Nix. The number one Bo Nix believer around was me. And there's some concern there. And I don't know if it's Bo Nix. I don't know if it's Sean Payton. I don't know. Something about it doesn't feel great to me. Some of it is the lack of true weapons. You don't really have that either. That's something we got to, it's Cortland Sutton and Troy Franklin. Like, let's go get this guy, dude. You know what I mean? That would help. I mean, really. But yeah, there's concern there. Sam Darnold. Is there a quarterback in the league playing better than him right now? Like, he has been fantastic. So
yeah, I mean, I know the fantasy numbers aren't going to show it from last week where he had a total of 6 points, but I mean, the defense scored 14 points in the first 5 minutes, it felt like. So that game was over before you knew it. They didn't have to do anything, but Darnold's been playing fantastic, man. I mean, and he was 10 for 12 in the game, 178 yards and a touchdown and a pick. So obviously the pick sucks, but at the same time, man, I mean, he's been lights out, like you mentioned, Coach. So, Tyler, I'll pose a question to you for KJ. Would you rather start Bo Nix or Sam Darnold this week?
I'm going Sam Darnold. He's been on fire. It's going to be a divisional matchup between him and the Rams, and Bo Nix is having a divisional matchup against the Chiefs. So I think the Seahawks are going to have to score more points. I really do. I mean, to keep up with the Rams offense that's humming right now too. So I'd take Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I think I'm actually going to go with Bo Nix, and I respect both of you for going with Sam Darnold. I totally get it. I think the Rams defense is tough, whereas I think the Kansas City game could get interesting playing in Denver. I could see them scoring some points. Coach, you mentioned they've been inconsistent. It's not that Bo Nix hasn't produced for fantasy because, I mean, yes, he had 8 points this past week, but before that, 19, 24, 39. So he's definitely scoring points, but it's just not been – it's not been pretty. I mean, the game where he scored 40 points, he was 27 for 50. And right now it seems like they're struggling pushing the ball down the field. Not really a lot of success past the line of scrimmage. So I think that it's got to turn at some point. I think Kansas City is a chance for them to do that this week. So I would start Bo Nix, but we'll see. Let's get to Iggy's question here. It says, did I lose this trade? I traded away Fannin and Jefferson for Kelsey, Kyron, My running backs are currently CMC, Woody, Henderson, Corum, and Monungai. Wide receivers are Olave, Rice, Pearsall, and JMO. Quarterbacks are Caleb and JJ. So, Tyler, let's start with you on this one. Did Iggy lose this trade by moving Fannin and Jefferson for Kelsey and Kyron?
If this is redraft, it's probably close because you've got Olave and Rice. I'm still holding Fannin and Jefferson personally. If it's dynasty, you definitely lost. I'll go ahead and tell you that. But redraft, I think it's a little closer. I think Fannin or Kelsey are kind of a wash at this point. And then I would rather have Jefferson over Kyron, especially if you have CMC, who's essentially 2 running backs and 1-2. So,
yeah, Coach, what's your thoughts?
You know, I not necessarily. I do like I like the Kyron ad. Jefferson doesn't have as much appeal to me rest of the way. McCarthy is not the guy. I'm just telling you. I know Matt loves him. JJ McCarthy's
I do
not the dude. So I actually don't mind the trade.
I mean, I don't know. I don't
now,
know.
You really are dependent. You really need Pearsall to come back eventually.
You need Pearsall to come back, and I think that's going to be the big thing. Now the question is can you rely on Olave, Rice, and JMO until Pearsall comes back? If he does come back, I think it's a riskier play. But at the same time, can you rely on Henderson and CMC? Henderson's only done it once. Other than that, you don't really want to start Monungai. So I think I'd rather take the risk of CMC and Kyron than, dealing with Henderson, Corum, and Monungai, to be honest. So I don't fault you. I think your record would be kind of a big question there, Iggy. And so I understand the trade.
It does look like Pearsall is going to play this week.
Would you start him if you had him?
Yeah, maybe in my flex. Like I'm about to.
Him or Woody Marks?
I think if Pearsall plays and he's healthy, he's going to produce. They don't have anybody else.
That's fair. I disagree. Tyler, would you feel comfortable playing Pearsall, or you want to see it?
I'd rather see it first.
That's fair. Well, we've got 18 watching, so we'd appreciate if you guys just throw us a like. That is a free move to help us out a ton. Otherwise, we'll continue to hit these questions. So if you got them, throw them in the chat. We'll come by and answer those. If you want to skip the line, you can throw us a super chat. We are always appreciative of that. But let's get to KJ's last question here. It says, better tight end start, Ferguson or Otten? Well, let's go to none other than the tight end expert, the Face Off Sports Network. Let's go to Tyler.
Yeah, so for me, I'm playing Jake Ferguson this week. I like the offense, and I know he's been struggling recently in terms of since CD came back. He's only averaging about 4.5 targets a game, where he was pushing 10 while CD was out. But I trust the offense a little bit more. And then, too, depending on the weapons coming back for the Bucs, too, Otten could take a little bit of a hit. If I'm not mistaken, I think both Bucky and Chris Godwin were spotted at practice today, like in walkthroughs. So just something to kind of monitor as the week goes on.
Coach, what's your thoughts on Otten here? Any interest in playing him?
No, not really. I think I would play Ferguson. I just think Ferguson there's a more potential for Ferguson to find the end zone than there is Otten, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it sucks for Otten. I mean, he's coming off a week where he had 12.7 fantasy points, had 9 catches for 82 yards on 12 targets. It just feels like that's not realistic for him. Yeah, he can get those high target numbers, but it's just not something that's been consistent. Whereas Dak and his offense, we know, is going to throw the ball. So I would be much more inclined to play, Jake Ferguson. Now, the one thing I will say is they're going to be playing in Vegas, and there's a good chance that this game could be over. Now, Dallas's, defense, it's been suspect, but they did make some key additions, so maybe that's going to help them stop the ball more, maybe lean more into the running game late into games where they're not going to have to throw the ball. So I'm really interested to see what happens with this Dallas team coming off the bye, because they have a chance to look very different, and they've got a chance to win some games down the stretch. So let's see what happens there. But let's get to our next question, guys, from the Vikings male cheerleaders. Appreciate you for being here. Says, I have Breece Hall and Derrick Henry benched for TreVeyon Henderson this week. Feels surreal. Hoping JMO works out in the flex. Guys, so I'll pose a question to you. We'll start with you, Coach. Are you okay with benching Breece Hall and Derrick Henry for TreVeyon Henderson? I have a hard time benching them. I had Derrick Henry in my tier 2 of running backs, and a lot of people gave me some flack over that. I do think that the touchdown is going to come for Derrick Henry. He's been so close. He's been stopped at the goal line. He's still getting consistent carries, 15 to 20 carries a week. He's just got to fall in the end zone. I think he could easily flip his fantasy finishes.
Yeah, like I feel like I would start TreVeyon over those two guys, but I would probably play Derrick Henry in the flex instead of JMO.
Yeah, I totally agree. Tyler, what's your thoughts on these guys?
Yeah, I would probably play Derrick Henry over TreVeyon just because if you are going to play both of them instead of JMO, like if you play one in the flex, make sure that TreVeyon is in your running back spot so that you
Shout out
have
Tyler.
the option.
Always looking for that flexibility with the schedule. It's important to know you don't start a guy on Thursday in your flex and then ultimately get screwed with a late injury or something like that. So that's a good fantasy lesson that we can always remember. Albert says, "What's up, fellas?" Albert, we appreciate you. You're always here, as always. So thank you for being here. Vikings did add that he had to dump QJ for TreVeyon Henderson too. Don't feel good about that. I mean, Coach, you want to talk about QJ? I know you and I were discussing it yesterday, so I'll give you a second to give your thoughts there.
Man, what a disappointment he's been. He started off so strong, then he gets injured. Ladd McConkey goes off the week, I don't know, 3, 4, somewhere in there. Ladd McConkey went off and QJ was out. It's like QJ has never regained his footing since then. And it's just been really disappointing. Now, he's still okay. He's still a flex-worthy player, but that's about it now.
Yeah, I mean,
his ascension slowed down drastically.
Yeah, his start is really reminiscent to me to none other than you guys remember Mike Williams with the Chargers a couple years ago? He did the same thing. He had a really hot start, and everyone's like, "Is this officially the year where he's the wide receiver one?" And then just kind of faded back into the distance. And although it's not the injuries that Mike Williams had, I mean, he started off the season 22 points, 14 points, 12 points, 19 points. Since then, it's been 5 missed game, 10, 0, 13, 6. So he's been inconsistent, and I don't think right now we can really throw him in our lineups without having to do a hope and a prayer, to be honest. Tyler, do you have any thoughts on QJ?
No, I think you nailed it. I mean, you've got how many receivers there now? You've got at least 3, and Keenan, him, and Ladd that are all spreading the ball around. Gadsden is emerging. So
Gadsden, man.
There's more too. Like, I mean, you just any given week somebody's going to get left out, and it seems like here recently it's been more of QJ.
And I think Hampton comes back after the bye. I mean, they play Jacksonville this week. They have their bye week 12. I think he comes back in week 13. So this offense might be ramping up at the perfect time. So we'll see what happens with the Chargers. Baby Ice says, "Thanks. We appreciate you for being here." Let's get to our next question. It says, "I was offered Ibuka for Saquon. I have Gibbs, Genty, and Henderson. So should I be interested in this move?" Tyler, you're shaking your head. Yes, you get to go first.
Yeah, absolutely. Egbuka for Saquon, and you already have Gibbs and Genty with Henderson being there too. Yeah, give me Egbuka all day.
Coach, what's your thoughts here?
Yeah, Igbuka all day. And if this is Dynasty by any chance, then smash.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, can you imagine getting Ibuka? I mean, right now he feels like a guy that's probably, a top 10 wide receiver. I haven't finished updating my rankings, so I need to do that.
He's definitely up there. That's for sure.
All right, well, let's carry on to Steven here. It says Dobbs, Trey Tucker, Debo, Wandale, and Tet. We got to pick 2 of these, Coach. So I'm going to go with my first 2. I'm going to go with Wandale and Tet. I wanted to say Debo, but I just don't trust the Commanders' offense right now. So I'll let you throw the sign up. Let the people know.
I don't
He lost it.
My wife must have threw my sign away. What?
How did you lose the most important sign?
How embarrassing. He gets one bit, and this is what happens. This is what happens.
Ah.
Well, while he looks for that, Tyler, who would you start?
Now listen. Wait. Wandale is the Jameis Winston. He's gonna throw that thing all over the place in New York. Wandale and Tet. Wandale for president, by the way.
Yeah. Wandale back-to-back weeks with 11 targets. I mean, it might amount to 33 yards, but boy, he's going to get peppered with targets, man. So I'm really excited, Coach. I would play Wandale as well. I know you're going to – the search will continue. No, it'll probably go off air. So, Tyler, what's your thoughts on Wandale? And let's talk about this Giants quarterback room once you get done.
Yeah, so to answer the question, I'm going Wandale and Tet. That's the two you play out of these guys. Wandale has been interesting. Like you said, he's been peppered with targets so far. No matter whether it was Russ or Jackson Dart, he was peppered, especially after Malik Neighbors went out. It just hasn't really equaled a ton of fantasy production, right? Now, this week, obviously, Jackson Dart is back in concussion protocol. And maybe that leans itself a little bit to the reason of maybe even the bigger news is Brian Daboll being fired. So you've got all of this turmoil and turnover in New York. And so we'll see how it kind of carries out. Now, Jameis, we've mentioned it, is starting this week. We know he loves to chuck the ball down the field. I think probably the more or the better recipient of that will be Darius Slayton because he's more of the deep threat. Oh, he found it.
Wandale for
I
president.
made another one. I made another one.
Okay. That'll work. It's okay. I think Darius Slayton will be the beneficiary of Jameis starting more so than Wandale just because of the deep threat targets. But I do think the way that Jameis plays ball is he's just going to chuck it regardless. So I think all the pass catchers take a step up this week. I do know that the offensive coordinator, I think is it Mike Kafka? Is that who it is? Is that his name?
Yeah.
He went to head coach to the interim head coach. And then, if I'm not mistaken, I think the tight end coach is going to offensive coordinator. So I mentioned that in my video. Just kind of keep an eye out for Theo Johnson. He may be a little more schemed into things if that's the way they're rolling there. What about you guys? How do you feel about the Giants' turnover this week?
Coach, I'll let you go first.
It's interesting. I've always been a Brian Daboll supporter. Like I do think Brian Daboll is doing some really good things with Jackson Dart. I do think he was running him too much, and they're going to get the guy broke before it's all said and done. He's been checked for concussions 4 times already since he became a starter. They're treating him a little bit like he's Josh Allen, and he's not. But he's a good athlete. We've always said that. Even when we were breaking him down in the offseason, we said this guy's a really good athlete. But he's just not built to run the ball like that. That being said, like Daboll was doing good things with him. That offense was moving. It was churning under Jackson Dart, and there were a lot of good things there, but Daboll just couldn't hold on to leads, and it just comes a point in time where you got to move on. However, I would have just wrote it out. Him and Dart had a good thing, let the season end, didn't move on. I've said a million times, midseason firings are stupid. I still feel that way.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. And the blown leads, I think, is a major part here. I mean, that's the one thing, like, you can't make an excuse for really any of that. And, Coach, you mentioned Dart, super athletic. We did talk a lot this offseason. And to your credit, Coach, you mentioned many, many times he was the best athlete among all the quarterbacks. Didn't necessarily have the rushing stats, but if you go put on the tape, you just see him move around. He finds a way to escape and stay alive. So that's good. It works great in the NFL, but at some point you got to learn to get out of bounds, slide, or throw it away. And a lot of these rookies kind of struggle with that right away.
Well, I know Daboll gets killed for blown leads, and some of it has been bad. But this past week, Dart fumbles in the red zone, going in to win the game. The Bears go down and score. Then a punter shanks a punt. Like, I'm sorry, but none of that was Daboll's fault. Absolutely none of that. Sorry.
No. Well, the Giants are going to be interesting. I think that Wandale might have 45 targets at the end of this game. It's very possible. I mean, we'll see what happens with this Green Bay defense. He could throw 4 picks, but he could throw 4 touchdowns too. I mean, that's Jameis Winston. That's the experience. Yeah. So
he could.
He has 45 targets. That's going to be too few. That's all I'm saying.
Well, let's carry on, guys. Let's get caught up with the chat a little bit here. So we appreciate everyone who's here and asking away for us. We do love doing this. So Baby Ice says, how about Caleb Williams or Baker Mayfield this week, Coach?
Y'all, let's talk about Caleb Williams. Let's talk about the ascension of Caleb Williams, right? I'm serious. This guy is significantly improved. There's no denying that. Like, is he perfect? No. But is he freaking Houdini in the pocket? He is. And he can keep plays alive. The Bears had 7 drops this past week. He's led 4 game-winning drives. Like, I could talk forever about Ben Johnson and his impact on Caleb Williams. Like, the offense has really improved. The offensive line's improved. Caleb Williams is the pick right here because Caleb Williams is so much better with his feet than Baker Mayfield. Like, Caleb Williams really extends plays. 2 rushing touchdowns this past week. Baker has they're in Buffalo, who's got to be pissed off after getting shredded by the Dolphins this past week.
Yeah.
Caleb is in Minnesota, which is not the Minnesota defense of last year. It's a very mediocre, average defense.
Yeah.
So I like Caleb Williams this week.
And we'll see if Baker gets some help back. Tyler, you mentioned it earlier.
Mhm.
Bucky spotted at practice. Chris Godwin possibly practicing. That would certainly help out Baker. But at the same time, Coach, to your credit, Caleb Williams last 2 weeks, 38 fantasy points and 25 fantasy points. So he's putting up some numbers right now. Tyler, I'm curious which way you would fall on this question.
I'm gonna lean Caleb Williams. If we're going by beer pong rules, he's currently heating up, and we might be going for on fire, next week. So we'll see how that goes. I do, just because we do it on our X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, account. We do put out like weather updates, primarily on like Saturdays, sometimes Sunday mornings. But we were talking about the difference in the quarterbacks in Buffalo. It's supposed to be rainy and possibly snowing during this game. So that would definitely come into my decision here. I'll take Caleb Williams against the worst defense and better weather.
All right. Well, I think that's a good point to mention the weather. I mean, that's something that definitely could impact, especially there in Buffalo. I mean, we know how that gets. But I'm gonna go with you guys. I wanted to be different and say Baker Mayfield, but I'm not going to. It's Caleb. So you win, Coach. We buy homes near you in the 512. We appreciate you. Standard League, 6-point passing touchdowns. Start one quarterback streamer. Purdy, Tua, Rodgers, Darnold, or Brissett. This is Darnold to me. I don't care about the difficult matchup. He's been the one that's been the best player, in my opinion. Coach.
Yep, I agree.
Tyler?
I will give you the other option that I would consider is Brissett, just because since he started, his worst quarterback finish is quarterback 12. He's throwing the ball all over the place. Now he has no Marv. That was what I was about to bring up. So it's going to be primarily Trey McBride. It's going to be Michael Wilson, maybe Greg Dortch. Get some carry.
Dortch.
Shout out
Coach's Dortch fire is burning right now. He's about to go pull out a jersey.
But no, in all honesty, I'm going Sam Darnold, but that's the other person I would consider is Brissett.
Now, like I do like Brissett. Like the offense is better with Brissett, but now he was garbage time points this past week. Like they were getting smashed, man. That game wasn't close. He did not play well until the game was way out of hand. Then he did score fantasy points. So I mean that's a real thing too. Fantasy points are fantasy points, however you score them.
Yep. Just got to get them. David mentions Wilson, incredible hands. He's a sleeper pick with Marvin out. I mean, yeah, I could see it. It's possible. So Michael Wilson believers
sitting on my bench forever.
he's a taxi king. Dodrick says, "How do you feel about Nico Collins the rest of the season, Coach? What's your thoughts there?"
I don't know. I really hate to say that, but it's a mess. CJ Stroud's out. Davis Mills is back. Is the world where they play better with Davis Mills right now?
15 targets last week.
Yeah, that's how bad CJ Stroud, or maybe not bad, but CJ Stroud has been, right?
The year one regression's been extreme.
Yeah, it has. It's weird. Yeah, I mean, I'm playing Nico Collins. If he's on my team, I'm playing him regardless.
Yeah, Tyler.
Yeah, you play him regardless. He's probably, if I'm ranking him, for the rest of the season, I'm probably saying he's top half wide receiver 2. He's got the volume, right? There's no real other competition on the team. The second on the team in targets right now is Dalton Schultz, just because nobody else can do anything. So whether it's Davis Mills or CJ Stroud, he's getting the targets. You play Nico regardless. I just think we came in hoping for maybe a higher ceiling in terms of maybe he had a top 5, top 10 season. And I just don't know that that's in the cards so far.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, I think his value has to be adjusted. And a lot of that goes to this offense as a whole. We mentioned the CJ Stroud regression, but just in general, I mean, they're not scoring points like they had in the past. I think this team does miss the run game from Joe Mixon. That's obvious to me. And we could talk about Chubb. We could talk about Woody Marks. I know a lot of people are going to chase the points of Woody Marks this week. I didn't have him inside of my top 24, and a lot of people gave me a lot of flack for that. But to be honest, the last time he was in the top 24, he followed it up with a dud week 2. So I think it just kind of depends on the situation and the game they're in. They're taking on the Titans. The game could be over. Maybe that leans to him. Maybe that leans to Chubb. We'll have to see. So I think the Texans offense is just difficult to predict right now. And the only one that I want to play is Nico Collins. The only one that I'd be looking to possibly play would be Woody Marks. But I think he's just a flex option. I'm not starting him at running back if I don't have to. But Alex, guys, he says rest of season. This is what his team looks like. He wants to know what we think. Drake May, TreVeyon Henderson, Judkins, Jason, JJ, McBride, Ibuka, with his bench being Woody, Bucky, Harvey, Wandale, Loveland, Pierce, Tua. Any changes to a 10-man PPR league here, Tyler?
No, I like it so far. I mean, you had Bucky, right? That he got hurt. That obviously hurt your upside there. But having JSN and Ibuka as 2 of your wide receivers with JJ, you've got the elite tight end and McBride. You've got, your running back depth is a little sketchy right now. You've got TreVeyon and Judkins, but Woody's starting to emerge. When Bucky comes back, he'll be an every week start for you. So I like it so far. I mean, the only thing I may say is, why do you have Tua on your bench? That's about it.
Great point. Good. Can you drop Tua and go get something else that's out there?
Yeah.
Pick up a handcuff, something like that.
Yep.
Coach, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, like I really love this team. I'm just curious, Tyler, for you, what are your thoughts on Alec Pierce? He's an interesting guy right now.
He has been on fire. I've been playing him in like all of my DFS lineups. If you get a chance, he's usually pretty cheap. He's Daniel Jones' go-to deep threat right now. Michael Pittman didn't have a good game this past week, but Alec Pierce did. And so I think he's becoming the team's wide receiver too. Last year it was Josh Downs. I still think Michael Pittman is the one there. And then obviously he's competing with Tyler Warren for short area targets. But if you want a deep threat on a good offense, Alec Pierce is up there on the names for sure.
It's a major Josh Downs regression too, this season.
Yeah.
Like he's been really underwhelming.
Well, I think he's been injured a lot.
He's been injured, but I think it also pairs with Tyler Warren, who doesn't have an average depth of target that's really far down the field. He plays closer to the line of scrimmage, and I think that eats into a lot of what Josh Downs does. Whereas Alec Pierce, as you mentioned, he's the burner, and frankly, he's been the burner of the NFL for several years now. I mean, he's had the deepest yards per catch, I think, for the last 2 years in a row or 3 years in a row, something crazy.
He just finally got a quarterback that could get it to him.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is someone can finally launch it down there to him. I mean, we're talking about a guy who had 7 targets, 13 targets, 5 targets, 10 targets in the last 4 weeks. I mean, double digits, 3 out of the 4 of those, 8 points in the other game. So he's definitely in that flex category. Tyler, you mentioned he's a DFS king right now. He's super cheap. I mean, he probably costs like $35,000 to $4,000 just to throw him in your lineup, and he's giving you 16, 17 points.
Yep. And two, like, let's also, like, we were talking about how he's been, the deep threat for years at this point. He's just finally got somebody to get him the ball. He was like known as the cardio king last year. Like, most of his routes were 80 yards down the field, and he just never caught the ball. Like, they couldn't get it there. But they've actually started connecting on those this year. And it's really shown. I think he's always been, that kind of speedy deep threat guy, and they're actually using his talents well this year. We don't need another short threat guy. Like we talked about Michael Pittman, talked about Tyler Warren, and then Josh Downs. You don't need to crowd it anymore. You need somebody to take the top off the defense, and Alec Pierce is good at that.
Yeah, that is his role, and he's doing it right now. Now, Tyler, I want to ask you real quick, and we'll get back to your questions, everyone. I'm sorry about the wait here, but Alec Pierce, what's his dynasty value? Coach and I were trying to pin that last night, and holy moly, is that a difficult question? It feels like if you want to trade him for a second, it feels wrong on both sides,
That's the first thing that popped into my head is like a mid-second. Like, if you're at a mid-second, I think that's about where he lives. Like, if it's a late second, I would probably do it, but if it's, an early second, I'm probably not. It's real finicky. He's I think the main thing is this is the first year we're like really seeing it, right? Like,
Yeah.
if we had multiple years of production at this point, sure, we'd be all about it. But this has easily been his best year since like Daniel Jones has come in. So we'll see how it finishes out here, but don't be surprised if he starts to sneak up a little more, where maybe he's not quite worth the first, but he might be worth 2 seconds or something by the end of the season.
And I think real quick before you go, Coach, if you're going to say something, the one thing that I want to mention is he scored a touchdown this past week. That's his only one of the year. He had 7 last year, so that easily could regress. It's a positive regression. He gets some more opportunities to fall in the end zone, especially as a burner if it turns into a big play. I mean, his fantasy finishes could skyrocket up. I mean, he's had 2 in his first 2 years, 7 last year, only 1 this season. So I'm interested to see where that falls.
Well, and he's still just what I was going to say is he's 25. So, you got 3 good years there. In Dynasty world, that's exactly what you're looking at.
Yeah. I mean, is he a possible flex play desperation start? I'd rather play him than a lot of people.
Absolutely. I mean, he's a good flex play. They're getting ready to come up on some tough matchups. You've got Kansas City and then Houston, but those could be some shootout games, especially Kansas City. You've got Seattle in week 15, San Francisco in week 16. So like there's some good matchups that he's got coming up that he may be able to take advantage of.
Yeah. Well, let's get back to this question. Let's hit a few a little bit and get caught up here. Patrick says trade away Javonte and Benson for Kyron and Hendy. Worried about Kyron splitting and Stevenson taking back over. My running backs are Javonte, Jones, Mason, DeMarcado, Benson, and Tootin. I would be just fine trading them away. 100%. I love Javonte, but give me Kyron over Javonte and give me Hendy over Benson easily.
Yeah, it's not close there. The
Yeah.
Benson thing makes me not even hesitate.
Yeah, totally with you.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on, fellas? Half PPR. Start Vidal over Breece Hall this week. Appreciate it. Yeah, I would too. I mean, I think it's a safer play. I love Breece.
Start him while you can.
That offense. Yep.
This is about your last chance to play him.
Amen, Coach. Devontae Smith, Adams, Tet. He needs one, Coach. Help Zach out. Or excuse me, Tyler.
Oh, it's okay. One thing to monitor with Adams is he didn't practice today because of the oblique. So if he plays, like if he's fully healthy, I'm playing Devontae Adams. Full stop. Otherwise, I'm playing Tet if Adams is out. I like Devontae, but that offense is way too all over the place. A.J. Brown's, talking up a storm. I think we say it all the time. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. I think that's coming. So I'd stay away from Devontae right now.
I think I'm with you there too, Tyler. That's the same route I go. Adams, then Tet over Smith. Just it's more consistent while also not being consistent. So I get it. Warrior says Marvin Harrison Jr. is out. Start Debo, Tez Johnson, or Chamir Dike. It's 0.5 PPR plus players get points for kick and punt returns. Coach, let's go to you. I know we love to talk about Dike and that opportunity to get return yards. What's your thoughts here?
Man, this is a hard one. Factor in the kick and punt returns, then I think it's DK.
I think it is. The one thing that I will say, and it's going to be interesting.
Maybe the best return man in football right now.
He might be. Now, who's really good but not playing? A very good kick returner. Luke McCaffrey has been extremely good this year returning kicks. He's on IR. The team last week used Igbenogany, who had one kickoff return that somehow he got to the 50. Igbenogany. He plays corner. Don't worry, he's not worth talking about again. Don't make me say.
He just wanted you to mess his name up. That's all that was.
No, let's just keep going.
Can you spell that?
I can't. I sure can. I absolutely can. But the one name that I want to mention is Debo. Debo has some experience returning kicks. I could absolutely see them putting Debo back there. Eckler did it. McCaffrey's done it. They did not look good this past week doing it. So I think that Debo could be a possibility to return kicks. So monitor that going forward. But I would start Debo over both those guys personally. Tyler, you have any choice here?
I don't who even returns punts for the Bucks. I don't think it's Tez, is it?
Honestly,
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I feel like it's Sterling Shepard for some reason. I feel like that's what I remember, but I'm not 100% sure of that. I am very hesitant to put Debo in there with Marcus Mariota, but they are playing the Dolphins. So
That game might be a shootout at 8:30 in the morning.
It might be. So just because of all of that, might
Cameron
lean Debo.
Johnson. Cameron Johnson is their
Cameron Johnson. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
Okay.
I probably lean Debo a little bit, but DK is definitely interesting.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to Jason here says, would you trade Vidal? He has Hampton and he will be back soon. Tet already got Rico. Don't want two Panthers. Tyler Warren for ETN, Rome, and Kelsey.
I would trade Vidal. So yes, absolutely. If I can get rid of him, now's the time. If you have
Even if you have Hampton, though,
I'm fine with moving him if I have Hampton. Just if someone wants to pay the price to get a starter right now, I would make that move. Like if you could somehow get Vidal for ETN, like I don't know what you're moving, but if you could somehow make that happen, like Vidal and Tet, I just don't think that I would trade Tyler Warren. Like that's the over the top here that I would not do that.
Yeah, I agree.
So okay, well Will says who should I start?
Tyler, I saw ETN on there. Would you trade in Dynasty? Would you trade Cam Scatterboo for ETN?
Cam Scatterboo. No,
on a competing team.
No, I'm keeping Scatterboo.
Okay.
We carry on. Will says, who should I start at flex? Wandale, Parker Washington, Tez Johnson, or Davis?
Montgomery.
Yeah. Okay. Davis Montgomery, aka David Montgomery. I'm gonna go with Wandale. I'm gonna chase the Lightning. Coach is gonna pull up his flyer. There you go. That's all you need to know. Wandale will. Tyler, what's your thoughts here?
Sorry, I can't. The Wandale for president thing kills me.
I supported Wandale before supporting Wandale was cool.
That's true. You did. There was no bigger Wandale believer than this man.
That is 100% true. For me, I think I'm going Parker Washington. I mean, he's had 17 points in back-to-back games. I don't know if Brian Thomas is going to be back, even though they're getting ready to take on the Chargers. He just did it against the Texans, who are also a really good defense. So I'd probably just play Parker Washington. I think he's got a little bit of a little bit more of a ceiling than Wandale does. And then they've got about similar targets probably.
BTJ did practice today. He had a limited practice, so I will throw that out there.
That's just like his season.
Fair. Great point, Coach. I'm not going to fight you there. Carter says, would you give up Bijan and Nico Collins for Puka and James Cook? Man, I do want to mention this. This is a good little segue about Bijan Robinson. And I know there's a bunch of questions, so we'll get to them. I'm sorry. But Bijan Robinson, he's coming off a week where he was fine, great for fantasy, but he didn't get the touchdowns. Tyler Algier got him. If you had to guess, would you expect Bijan to be top 10 in red zone carries?
He's up there.
He's not. Would you expect him to be top 10 in carries inside the 5?
No.
Algier.
He's not. Yeah. Algier is top, I think, 15. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I looked at them during my running back video. I think Algier is top 15. Bijan's like 27.
Dang. The Falcons are such a joke, man. With all the talent they've got, don't give me this. It is. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Like, give the man the ball.
You're about to let Coach get on his soapbox.
Like, give the man the ball. Like, it drives me insane. Like, it really does. I did send a trade for Bijan to Tyler, and I'm so glad he didn't take it, though. As soon as he did, and I sent Matt a message. Thank God he didn't take it.
I almost did.
I was like 5 years. He's still 23.
Yeah, he's 23. That's crazy, dude.
But Puka in this list, man, Puka is so good.
He's unbelievable.
Like when Puka is healthy, he's the best wide receiver in football, in my opinion. 100%. He's the best.
He has proven he is the wide receiver 1 in Dynasty. We talked about that early in the year. He has taken that role and he's running with it. So I think all that to say we're taking Puka and James Cook.
Yeah.
All right. Jason says start one this week. Bo Nix, Rodgers, Purdy, and maybe start the stack with Ricky. Or I'm not even going to read the next two because they're not worth it. I would go with Bo Nix.
It's your boy.
Sure, but I'm not starting him over Bo Nix.
I got Bo Nix here in this group.
I figured.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd do the same.
Start one, Mariota, Rodgers, Geno, Tua, Brissett. I'd probably start Rodgers, and they're all gross.
Oh,
I'm
whoa.
going Brissett
They're not
out
all
of that.
gross.
You're going to start Geno? Give me a break. Can we stop talking about Geno? Like,
I was not going to say a word about Geno.
don't say Tua either. Now,
it's
granted,
Jacoby.
Tua's playing my Manders, and we're absolutely terrible at literally everything right now. So there's a good argument to start Tua.
He just got done lighting up the Bills. Put some respect on his name.
That's fair. He did. I shouldn't be hating on him too much. So, okay.
I'm starting Tua. I'm starting Tua in this group.
Gross. That's gross.
I-
Too much says, I'm 4-6, need to win out. Would you guys trade CD, Kittle, TreVeyon for Puka and Bowers? I'm considering it since Kittle has a bye. The rest of my roster is wide receiver Rice, Ibuka. Running backs are Henry, Bucky, and Harvey. So, guys, in a must-win, would you move Kittle, TreVeyon, and CD for Bowers and Puka? I probably would. I mean, if you have to win, you got to win.
Yeah. Ooh.
Now the running back, giving up the running back is the hard part here to me.
Yeah. But that you have to have Bucky come back. Like Bucky has to come back next week.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's the issue is
good
if you
point.
make that trade, you're losing depth with TreVeyon. Like that's the hard part.
Can you get a small running back back? Like, is there a world where maybe this team has like Vidal or something, and you pull the 1 week rental?
So tell me this: Kittle, Bowers, but both healthy the rest of the way. Let's just assume it's a push, right?
Yes.
Okay, so CD and TreVeyon for Puka.
Oof.
See, that feels a little too rich for me, personally.
I get it. Oof.
I think
coming
it's
off
more
of TreVeyon's best week, not knowing what we're getting going forward, and
Would
you
you
only
feel
have,
better about this if it was Harvey instead of TreVeyon?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yes.
All right, there you go.
I think so too. All right, well, let's hit some of these next questions quicker. I mean, I know we're approaching 7:20 Central, 8:20 Eastern, and we've got a pretty big backlog. So we're going to go one at a time here. We'll start with this. Which 2 guys should I put on my bench? Nick Chubb, Pacheco, Tootin, Corum, Isaiah Davis, Emmanuel Wilson, and Judy. If we're picking 2 to put on your bench, I'm going to go with Chubb and Pacheco. But honestly, I don't think any of them are really that different. We appreciate you. Half PPR. Tyler, should I trade Odunze for Judkins? Would it be my flex with Bijan and Rico? My wide receiver 2 would be Pearsall or BTJ with Odunze gone.
No, not if you're having to rely on Pearsall. I'd hold Odunze for now.
Okay. Antonio asks, Coach, pick 2 in the flex. Wandale, Worthy, Michael Wilson, or Addison?
Oh, Wandale and really maybe Addison.
Yeah, I like the Addison play. He's been good. Bryce Long says, would you rather have Henry or Javonte for the fantasy playoffs? If you asked this question a couple months ago, we probably all would have said some very funny things at this question. Right now, I think you have to say Javonte. I think the offense is better. The offense is scoring more points. He's been more involved all around. Henry has not looked like himself. While I do think Henry's going to get better, I would rather start Javonte the rest of the way. Either of you, real quick, disagree? Yes or no?
No, I agree.
No, he's got a tough schedule coming up.
All right. Antonio, Tyler says, Tajay, DeMercado, or Kyler Monangai?
I'm going Monangai here.
Yeah.
I don't.
Monangai.
Yeah, DeMercado's whatever, and Tajay is still stuck behind Pollard. So
Yeah.
Monangai, DeMercado, Tajay for me.
Same order for me, Coach. Coach, Sean says Flacco or Stafford this week?
Stafford.
Yeah, that's the answer. As fun as Flacco is, it's Stafford. Jason Ortiz, which real quick on Stafford, I don't know if you guys caught this text I sent the other day. Stafford has never been a first-team All-Pro quarterback in his entire career, and
That's
now
wild.
he is the favorite to be a first-team quarterback. So
That's
just want to throw
criminal,
that out there.
really. That's criminal.
Yeah.
Right.
Jason says, I have 3 quarterbacks, Jones, who I use weekly, Dak for this week, and Joe Burrow. Which one of the 2 or two should I start? Oh gosh, I butchered this. Which one or two QBs should I drop to pick up a handcuff this time of year? Spears, Gainwell, Sean Tucker, Emmanuel Wilson, and Judy. So we've got 3 quarterbacks on the roster. We need Jones. I'm probably dropping Joe Burrow. I mean, I get he might be back for week 14. The team has to start winning games before that even matters. And I would go banking on his health right now. So I would be willing to drop Joe Burrow, and I would probably go get Kenny Gainwell would be the player I'd pick up out of this group.
I agree.
Yep, I agree. Judy did just have a big week this past week. That's why his name is being mentioned suddenly. So I do think Judy's the best wide receiver in Cleveland for what that's worth. That's not saying much.
Yeah, totally agree. KJ says, I have the Seattle defense rostered. They have been carrying me to wins most this season. I picked up Atlanta D this week on waivers. It's getting too cute to play them over Seattle this week in a divisional game for them. So the question comes down, would you rather start Atlanta or would you rather start Seattle? Personally here, KJ, I'm going to start Seattle. They're hot. They're playing well. I get it's a divisional game, but Atlanta, Coach, you highlighted it a few minutes ago. They're just a team that I don't really trust right now. So I wouldn't go playing them if I had to.
They are playing the Panthers. That helps.
But this is the game the Falcons lose. This is the one where they get blown.
They already did. They
did.
They lost 30-0 the last time.
That's true. Good point, Tyler. So maybe they got it out of their system, is what you're saying. That's a fair point.
I don't know.
Coach, our pizza man who was here for our last pizza bet says Caleb definitely extends plays because he holds the ball too long. Agree or disagree?
Yeah, can we stop the Caleb hate? Hey, yes, he holds the ball a little bit too long.
Timeout. Can you hold up a mirror next to yourself? There is no man that critiques Caleb Williams more than the man who just said, can we stop the Caleb Williams hate?
Yep.
I am. Okay, now wait a minute. Now wait. I am an honest critic of Caleb Williams. This is true.
You are.
But there is a world out there of people that absolutely hate him, and I pray he fails. They are everywhere.
Anonymous group. I'm just going to say it. You trumpet the anonymous group. You do.
What do you mean?
You are the one that hates on him the most.
But I don't hope he fails. There are people everywhere that are praying that he fails, all because he paints his fingernails. Like, get over it.
You're also a Bears fan, so that helps.
Get over it.
True.
No, I know Colts fans that act like they hope they fail every now and then.
You know what? As long as my Commanders don't get brought in, I don't care. Yeah,
but he does hold the ball a long time. He does. He does. And Matt, didn't mean you make a pizza bet last week or a week before? What was it?
Heck, honestly, I don't remember.
He's the guy to ask.
Look.
Yeah.
We'll have to go look because I have no clue. I don't remember. If anyone's in here and they remember, can you let us know? Because I probably lost.
I doubt it.
Let's get to our next one. You're right. I'm on a heat streak here. So
hotter.
Start 3. TreVeyon, Etienne, Swift, Judkins, Devontae Smith. Pick 3, Coach.
Etienne, Judkins, Swift.
Ooh. TreVeyon on the bench. You're saying don't care about that big week.
I care about it long term. I don't care about it right now.
I would go Judkins, Etienne, TreVeyon. That would be the 3 I'd play.
I'm fine with that. I mean, I get it.
I agree with Matt there. Just because Swift and Monangai are still being used, not interchangeably, but they're splitting work. So that's where I would go. Yeah.
They are.
The Fantasy Sports Zone says go Heels. Not around here, brother. Not with this group of folk. We don't like them.
No.
Yeah.
We are from North Carolina, but
we are.
We are.
But we're the rare group that doesn't have any ties there. Current wide receivers after injuries are Addison Slayton and Trey Tucker. Running backs are Saquon, Dowdle, Chase Brown, and Aaron Jones. Got offered to get Ladd and Kyron for Dowdle and Addison. Is it worth it, Coach? Or Tyler, you're shaking your head.
I agree. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I would do it too. So, too much says rest of season roster here. Would you guys suggest any changes? Quarterback is Mahomes. Wide receivers are Lamb, Rice, Ibuka. Running backs Derrick Henry, Bucky, Harvey, Dobbins, Henderson. Tight end Kittle and Strange. Bench is Keon, Burden, Sean Tucker, Brian Robinson, and Slayton. Guys, do we have any names here that we're interested in dropping, moving, or doing anything with.
I really think he needs he could use some help at running back a little bit. I mean, that's the thing, but it's going to be hard to get it unless you tear down off of somebody like Lamb, which is difficult to do. I've been trying to tear down off Jonathan Taylor and Bijan for weeks, and I was striking out everywhere I turn.
Yeah, Tyler, any thoughts on the roster?
I like it. I mean, if your bench is just whatever, I mean, you're probably not playing any of them unless injury happens, which you're not hoping for. Like Coach said, you could use some running back depth. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm willing to drop Keon at this point, or like Brian Robinson, because you don't have CMC, so it's not going to matter.
I'd be looking to move B-Rob.
I was going to say, or try to trade him to CMC,
or
the CMC owner, and see what you can get out of it. That might be the best move there.
Now, I'll tell you this is as a Bears fan, like I really like Burden sitting there on your bench. There's potential there. Ben Johnson yesterday literally said the case can be made that we need to do a better job of getting him the ball.
Yeah, I'd probably hold Burden. I'm with you, Tyler. I'd be okay moving Keon or dropping him. B-Rob would be the name I'd be looking to move to the CMC owner, just see what you can get. I mean, maybe you take Keon and B-Rob and you get it a little upgrade at running back. Like, that's possible. Coach, you mentioned the running back position is the one he needs the most help in. It's probably the best timing of the year for him. I mean, Dobbins goes down, so he's got Harvey. Henderson breaks out with Stevenson already out, so he's going to have another week of him, and then maybe Bucky comes back next week. So it might time out perfectly for you here. So we'll have to see. Joe Smith says, should I try and trade Dowdle while his value is where it's at? Also, I'm cute, by the way. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate that. I would be willing to move Dowdle depending on what I can get. Now, that being said, he's playing so well right now. It's tough to say you'd want to move off of him.
He's the running back 10 currently.
So high.
Just so you know.
Now's the time.
The running back 10, is that what you said, Tyler?
Mm-hmm. Because I was looking at it earlier because he's questionable in my redraft lineup. So, and I've got TreVeyon on the bench. I was like, do I try to make some kind of weird move? And I clicked it and I saw that he was running back 10, and I was like, I don't know how I don't play him or just ride it because I've got Chuba too. So what does it matter?
The regression begins this week. Sell high.
It could. We'll see. Big Man says, who should I replace Kraft with? What is going on here?
Matt's got all the compliments going on.
I'm getting them all.
Dang.
Who is this? Who is this? Tyler,
I didn't know we were all with a celebrity right now.
Listen, it is what it is. It comes with territory. Tyler, you're our tight end man. So what are we doing here with Kraft?
Yeah, so Kraft, that's a brutal injury to lose. I had lost him last week, and I picked up Schultz, and I played Dalton Schultz. Anybody like that, if you're in redraft, you've got like Schultz, you've got maybe Loveland. I doubt he's there. Cade Otton may still be there. There were some other waiver names, like if you've got like AJ Barner there. He didn't do anything last week, but then again, we talked about how Sam Darnold only threw 12 total passes. Yeah. So he's the threat to get in the end zone. You have guys there. Just don't be afraid to take a stab because obviously you're not getting Kraft back anytime soon.
Yep. Coach, question for you here. Bob Hope says May on Thursday or Hurts, also Swift or White in PPR leagues for the flex.
Bob Hope. Do either of you guys know who Bob Hope actually was?
Yeah, he's right here. He's talking to us right now. Baseball player now.
Okay.
Who's Bob Hope? Who the hell is Bob Hope?
Never mind. Use your Google machine.
May
on Thursday or Hurts, also Swift or
the
White.
Comedian. I'm with you. Okay. Actor, comedian extraordinaire. Excuse me.
Hurts, and White. If Bucky isn't playing, you have to watch that closely because he might play.
And even with Bucky being out, I might say Swift over White. White's been incredibly inefficient. I do think that he's going to have the opportunity to still score. What? It's the truth. He averaged 3.5 yards per carry this past week, and that's like his best of his career. He's terrible running the ball. I've said this for like 4 years, and we're finally hitting the point where it's freaking true. He's not good. He's great out of the backfield. Sorry, you got me on a rant. Let's get back to Iggy.
Who does Matt hate worse? Is it Rashad White or is it Zach Charbonnet?
It's Rashad White.
That's another one. Charbonnet is not a good running back. I don't know how many times we have to do this. I just can't. You guys are just trolling right now. Iggy says, who starts? J-Mo, Pearsall, Woody, Henderson, or Kyron? Need a running back. There's 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. Or sorry, the running back 2, wide receiver 2, and a flex. I'm going to go with Kyron as my running back 2, Hendo in the flex, and then I'll put J-Mo as my wide receiver 2.
Yep. I agree.
Coach is going to say Pearsall, so.
Yep, he sure is.
I might flex J-Mo, though.
Yeah. Chris says that you should drop Bijan, so be sure to listen to Chris and drop Bijan. Get him off your roster. Kev says, what's up, guys? Don't you put that evil on me, Chris. I didn't say that. What's up, guys? 4 and 6, 12-man full PPR. May, Nix, Gibbs, Henderson, Sean Tucker, Ibuka, Rice, Freiermuth, Dobbins, Sutton, Pierce, Tyler Warren, Parker, Washington. Who do I move to upgrade my running back 2 for the playoff run? Coach, what's your thoughts here?
I would try to move Sutton. I don't know if that's possible. It's a good time to move Parker Washington, possibly, if you want to try to upgrade at running back 2 to capitalize on his game last weekend. I like that idea.
Am I crazy to say, Tyler, that you might look at moving Drake May?
I don't necessarily think so. I don't think it's necessarily crazy. I mean,
would you move May before Nix?
The only reason I say May is because he's playing so well and his value is insane right now.
You've come around on Nix just as the show has went on for over the last hour. You've become a Nix fan.
I'm personally
because I know
probably
he's fine.
Probably moving Nix. If I'm picking between 2 of the QBs to move, I'm probably moving Nix, but he doesn't have the value. Coach mentioned moving Sutton. If you're worried at all about Henderson, about TreVeyon and having Ramondre come back and all that, you could pair Henderson and Sutton together and go see what you could get. I mean, see where that lands you. I mean, you've got Ibuka and Rice too, so it'll be interesting.
Like that thought. Same with Parker Washington. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Sutton's been letting me down, man. I had higher hopes for him. He's been kicking me in the nads the last few weeks.
The quarterback is just the name I'd be looking to move. And the one caveat to all of this is Drake May has a week 14 bye. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the tough part of he's 4 and 6, so we have to buy wins now. Now Bo Nix, if I'm not mistaken, has his bye week next week, I believe. Does anybody know that? He indeed does. He's a week 12 bye. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. So I mean, it's a tough situation. I think rostering 2 quarterbacks, while I get it, you have 2 good ones. At the same time, I just think that you need running back help bad. So you got to find a way to make a move. Pierce is another name. You might capitalize off what he's been doing here recently. So see what you can do. But Justin Kyle says, trade Charb for Wan'Dale Robinson. Thoughts? Coach, what more do you have to say? Let's just go to the second part of the question. Charb sucks. I said it. Tyler, should he trade Tez and Ferg for Kittle?
I mean, sure, I guess, if that's what you want to do. I mean, I think Ferg and Kittle are kind of a wash. They play a little bit differently. If I had to lean one, I'm probably going Kittle, but I mean, I think here's the thing. Once Godwin and Evans and all them come back, Tez is going to be irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Yep. So
I think Kittle's going to give him more than Ferg the rest of the way, though, if he stays healthy. That's
if he stays healthy. I mean, we've seen how many 49ers injuries, though, this year. I mean,
especially to Kittle over the last few years.
Everyone gets hurt out there.
All of them. Yeah.
The fantasy sports.
Go ahead, Matt.
Says,
Go ahead,
AJ
Matt.
Brown be with another team next season? I don't know, but I think it's time for a nice chat about what is AJ Brown worth and why is he not a fantastic wide receiver like he is ranked to be. I've been talking that I don't think AJ Brown is as good as he's been ranked for the last couple years. A lot this offseason, a lot at the beginning of the year. While I think AJ Brown is definitely a good player, don't hear what I'm not saying. He's explosive. He'll score points. He can catch touchdowns, all the things. That offense is not conducive to throwing the ball like they want them to be, and especially like the way AJ Brown feels. This team is built to run the ball, and while they're not doing it as much as they have been in the past, they should be. Now, granted, they did just have some major injuries to the offensive line, so that's going to change things. And I think that's something we're going to have to factor in and consider as we move forward. That being said, will he be on another team next year? I don't know. If he forces his way out, then I think it says a lot about what he wants, and that's just simply personal stats over winning Super Bowls. That's just kind of the way I'm going to put it. Now, the Eagles team is really dang good. Trust me, I hate them more than most people. But at the same time, if I were him and I was on that team, like, do I want the ball? Of course I do. At the same time, I want to win Super Bowls. And I think if he stays there, they can be a good team. I mean, do either of you think that he'll be on there?
Wide receiver 39. I think he'll try to force his way out because I don't think he cares.
I do too.
You know, I was talking about people that hate Caleb Williams. I mean, tell you who else I'm tired of hate on is Nick Sirianni. Because you know what he does? He wins. Like, people can say whatever they want to. Maybe his offense isn't sexy enough for these fantasy people that want him to throw it everywhere. It doesn't matter. They line up, they run the ball, they win football games. Their defense is freaking phenomenal. It is what it is. Like, he is not obligated to call plays that target AJ Brown 10 times a game. He just isn't. He's obligated to win football games, and that's all he has done.
And we talked about this a lot last year. If this team is having to throw the ball, that is not the recipe for success for them. It's just simply not. They're built to run the ball. They just are. And that doesn't mean you can't run or you can't throw in the game. I mean, they're certainly going to have their games where they can throw. And you know, you throw the Super Bowl on. That's the game everyone's going to point to where Jalen Hurts played like a god. And I'm not going to take anything away from him. He played
and the
fantastic
NFC Championship game. He played well in both games.
Well,
yes.
To be fair, we were destroyed from the start. I mean, Saquon had like 150 yards too. So it was over. But all that to say is he played when it mattered, and that's great. But at the same time, he is someone that I think he cannot be forced to be a pocket passer. That is not what he is.
Yeah.
So in Dynasty, what is AJ Brown worth? Tyler, take it.
He's probably a late first. I mean, that's probably based off of name and how other people view him. I would say probably a late first. I don't personally have him valued there. I wouldn't pay a late first for him, not at this point. But you know, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I do think
if you're only paying a second for him, that says a lot about him. Right?
Exactly.
I mean, that's where
it's more than a second. You know, like it's probably like a second and a third or 2 seconds, somewhere in that range. But I'm not paying a first for him at this point.
I mean, let's play the name game. Would you rather have Chris Olave or AJ Brown?
Olave.
T. Higgins or AJ Brown?
T.
Higgins.
Wandale.
Okay. I'm going AJ Brown there. I know where Coach is going to go, but
I don't know where he's going to go.
I don't either. I'm thinking it's close. That's where we're at.
Okay.
Like this time next season, he's going to be 29. He's 28 right now.
28 and a half.
Redraft rest of this season, Wandale. Next year, he could force his way out somewhere else and have a bigger impact. Maybe, but
yeah,
I'm saying Wandale. Damn it.
All right, let's hit 2 more names just because I'm curious where you would fall. Or 3 actually. Well, let's start with the counterpart: Devontae Smith or AJ Brown.
Devontae is younger.
Okay. How old do you think Devontae is?
26.
He's 27.
That's
Ricky Pearsall.
I'd take Pearsall.
Okay, last one.
If he stays healthy, that's concerning for me.
And this one's tough for me just because it's like it's the same issue, but for a totally different reason. Xavier Worthy.
AJ Brown.
Yeah.
How about Waddle?
I'm probably going I'm probably going Worthy. I would definitely go Waddle.
AJ Brown will be a Bronco. That's what's going to happen.
Oh God,
That feels like a move they'll make.
Well, he's better than what they have. I mean, he is.
I mean,
true.
yeah, that's true.
He's better than Sutton or Troy Franklin or
Yeah.
Pat
Mhm.
Bryant.
All right,
Or
last
maybe
question.
maybe he's a Raider, and Chris can be happy.
Chris, would you rather have AJ Brown or Deontay Thornton? The Randy Moss of the
Do
preseason.
not hate on. Yes, monster, no, garbage scrub, Jack Besh scrub.
Yeah, Jack Besh. Like, where is the dude? Like, he was the hero of the offseason. Great story, but he's amounted to just nothing so far. But let's get to our last couple questions here. He started taking divas, but guess what, brother? I feel it coming, Coach. You spoke it into existence. I'm here for it. AJ Brown is a Raider. Let's make it happen.
Gino's throwing him dimes, man. Just wait.
Hospital balls, bro. Hospital balls. Can I start Henderson instead of Kyron this week, or is that too risky? I would play Kyron. Yeah, I'm playing Kyron.
Yeah.
That's the responsible thing to do. Alex says, would you guys start Higgins, Diggs, or Wandale in PPR this week, Coach?
Wandale, Higgins, Diggs, that order.
Ooh, I think your bias is creeping in. Higgins is playing good, and at the same time, so is Diggs. I mean, T. Higgins before the bye week had 29 points where he destroyed the Bears and somehow still lost the game. Before that, 10 points, 18 points. So he's playing really, really well. Diggs this past week, another solid week for him, 13 points, 11 points, 8 points. So I'm going to go with Higgins, Diggs, Wandale. That would be my order.
Same.
So there you go. Coach is being delusional. Chris said it here first. But he's not delusional that A.J. Brown's a Raider. That's happening.
Higgins is better than Wandale. Let's get that out there. Like, Higgins is better than Wandale. Like, the Giants have no one else.
Are you just saying Wandale possibly could have 15 targets?
Yeah, that's it. That's all.
But if his 15 targets equate to 50 yards versus T. Higgins gets 7 and he scores a touchdown and has 70.
I hear you, but we act like Wandale is wide receiver 18 on the season. T. Higgins is wide receiver 25. Let's not act like this is crazy to say that, right?
But it's also he was playing with Jake Browning. That's the reason why, though. He was playing with Jake Browning, and then since Flacco, Wilson. Not for long. He got Jackson Dart.
Wandale has 602 yards on the season. T. Higgins has 481.
Once again, he's played with Flacco for how many weeks now? Versus the Jake Browning Bengals were terrible. They were god awful.
Wandale has almost more catches than targets that T. Higgins has.
Yeah, that's
actually crazy.
This Steeler defense is better than the Bears defense that he scored on last time, and he did most of that, some of that yardage when they were down big and were just scoring on the prevent in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So I'm just telling you, it's close. I think Higgins is a better player. Wandale's just the only guy left standing.
Fantasy, man. It's different. It's fantasy. Who wins this trade? Judkins and Addison or Tet and Kenneth Walker, Tyler?
I'm going Judkins and Addison.
I am too.
Me too.
Yeah, there you go. It's
sad.
Sweep.
It's sad, but Kenneth Walker's just not getting it
makes
done.
me sick to my stomach.
He's the most consistent player in football. He's a walking 7 points. He is 13 carries for 73 yards and nothing after that. It's a lock.
Because they don't want to give him the ball anymore, especially when they get in the red zone.
Because Sharps is good. That's why. All right, but that's going to do it for us. We appreciate everyone who tuned in. Thank you for being here. Come back, throw a comment on the question. We'll come back and answer it. Check out Tyler's tight end video. It just came out. Lots of good stuff there. My running back video came out. Be sure to go follow us on X at the FF Mediators, and we'll catch you next time.